It's hard to recognize it when it's happening, in the moments where it is. But the pain in our lives, it's a gift. It really is. In the same way that a man could take a shovel and dig it into the soil, the ground may cry out, "Why are you cutting me? Why do you do this?" But then the man casts a seed into what it is that he's cut into the ground, and soon flowers bloom. And you see, it is just this way in our lives too. It really is. Though we don't always see it at the time, because we dislike pain. When life cuts us, make no mistake about it, God's hand is casting a seed into the very wound that we are protesting against. Really. And if you have the courage to consider some hard things you've been through in your life and reflect on how those were catalysts for change and growth and brought you closer to the truth of who you really are, brought you closer to God, brought you closer, you'd see that what I'm saying is true. But again, we don't always like pain when it's happening. I myself tend to protest. Even still, I do. But you know, we're here having this conversation for a reason. Because it's important right now. Because it's not a coincidence that you're seeing this video at the time that you are. There is a pain that you are facing right now in your life. I know it. And I'm telling you right now something that I know within yourself, in the truth of who you are. You know that this really is happening for you. You know it is. So don't protest against it. Feel into it. There's a great wisdom that comes to those who explore the pain rather than reject it. But you see, as humans, we've become so good at when we feel pain, medicating it. We want medication to ease the pain. When we feel an emotional pain or a discomfort type of pain in ourselves, we want to medicate it with shows or movies or drugs or TV or, relationships or burying ourselves into our work. There's so many things that we do to avoid this pain. But why would you avoid the very hole that is being dug so that the flowers that are destined in divine time to bloom in your life later on down the road, which you cannot foresee yet? See, these flowers are waiting to bloom in your life. And if it were not for the cut that is being dug into you right now through the very pain that you are experiencing today in your life, make no mistake about it. I'm telling you the truth. The very thing that you wish you were not experiencing right now in your life is one of the greatest gifts you have ever been given. But you will not know it until later. Such is the way of life. We don't always see or understand what it is that's happening in the moments that it's happening, because we're such emotional feeling creatures. But one day you will see. You see, God knows what you need before you do. And often what we think we need isn't actually what we really need. God knows what it is that's best for us right now, today, this moment in our lives. And understand that God is giving it to you. If you want to know what God's next step is for your life, open your eyes. Look right here, right now in front of your face. I promise you this, the very step of the stairs that is the journey of your life, that God has called you to walk your path, the path that you are on. Oh, I tell you, this step is right here in front of your face. And yes, this step, it might be painful. It is sometimes. But who do you want to be? Someone who turns away from the step that God is presenting them? which, by the way, God would never give you more than he knew you could handle, that you were ready for, that was necessary. God wouldn't do that to you. Do you want to turn away from a step that scares you, that hurts, and turn away and distract yourself with drugs or movies or some other thing? Or do you want to face life, live it, lift up your foot and step onto that stair and begin to walk forwards? And yes, it may hurt, and yes, your muscles may quiver because this step is hard, but your muscles will strengthen, and it will prepare you for the next step. And soon, you will be at the top of the stairs. It's one foot in front of the other. Life is really simple. It really is. We make it so much more complicated than it needs to be. Keep moving forwards. Just keep walking. Don't give up. Don't turn away from the step that you're on. It's here for a reason. It's happening for a reason. Live your life. Don't turn away from it like so many people are doing. I know that's not you. You're not the kind of person who turns away in fear. You're the kind of person who feels the fear, acknowledges that it's there, and then moves forward anyways, and always has massive breakthroughs and revelations and communion with the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of God, because of life. Because these are gifts. Everything that's being given to you is an opportunity. Life is trying to lift you up, not trying to squash you. Now, I've said much, but there is another thing I'd like to say. A woman has cancer, a cancerous cell in her body, but she does not know that she has cancer. She cannot see into her body, and she has perhaps no symptoms of this cancer either, but it's in there. Now a brave and wise, all-seeing, all-knowing surgeon comes by and sees the cancer, pulls out his scalpel, and cuts into her and removes the cancer. But you see, the cut of the scalpel hurts, and so she screams out, "Ow!" and slaps the surgeon in the face and exclaims, "Why would you do this to me? How could you hurt me in this way?" And the surgeon says, "Well, you had a cancerous cell, and years from now, this cancer would have overrun your life and taken you over, and you would have experienced horrifying symptoms from it that would devastate your reality in ways that, well, now you will not experience, because I have cut it out of you." You see, this pain, which I know you did not want to experience, my friend, make no mistake about it, it is a scalpel in the hand of God, and sometimes it hurts when we are being cut. But you must understand that you are constantly in creation. You're constantly in creation. You're constantly growing and changing. Who you are today is not who you were a few years ago. And who you were a few years ago was not who you were before then. Look, you're always changing. You're always growing. You're always having new experiences. This is life. We are all in the hands of a surgeon who knows more about us and what's going on within us than often we do. That's where trust comes in. That's where faith comes in. That's where we walk by faith, not by sight, comes in. Because if we're always walking based on what we're seeing, then we are living our life from our own understanding. But we can only understand what we have seen. And there is so much that we have not seen, and so we cannot understand it. But we are in the hands of a loving God who does see, who does know us. And you see, I myself did not go to medical school. I'm not a surgeon. So please, if there is a cancer in me, do not put the scalpel in my hand, God. Keep it in yours. I trust you. And if you know that the best way to remove this cancer from my body is to put me through some relationship tragedy, or to have me face some kind of horrific financial experience, Or God, if the scalpel you cut into me with is truly me falling on my face or getting in a slight car accident or whatever it may be, God, I trust you. Let it be your will that works through my life, because you're the good surgeon who I trust. I surrender my life to you, God. I give myself to you. I am in your hands. Let your will be done, not mine. And in these videos, let your words be spoken, not mine. For I do not know of which it is that I speak. But you do, God. You do. And I do not know who it is on the other side of this camera that was drawn to be here today, God. But, God, you do. And you brought us both here so that we could have this exchange and move forward in our lives knowing something very important. The pain is a gift. Listen to it. It has much to teach us. The deeper the cut, the deeper the roots of the seed which is planted. And I swear to you, one day that wound will grow flowers and fruit, and the fruit will taste amazing, and it will supply for you. And the flowers will have a sweet and pleasant aroma that will fill your life with joy. And so that which is painful now will bless you later. So do not give up in what it is that you are facing, but rejoice, for God is giving you something great. And though you and I may not see it in the times that it is happening, we have the great privilege of bearing the fruit that God has planted in us, in our lives, later on down the line. If you don't believe me, take a look at your life right now. Am I the only one who is eating fruit that was planted a decade ago in my life? Certainly I cannot be the only one who is eating fruit that was planted in painful wounds in me years ago. And certainly years from now, I will be eating fruit that I am growing today that I cannot see, that I cannot understand or comprehend. But I know it's growing. How do I know? Because I'm alive and I'm breathing. And so are you. Thanks. Much love and blessings and peace to you in your life. You can trust God. You can trust God. You can. Do not be afraid of what it is that you're going through in your life. Thanks again. And if you know somebody who may appreciate this conversation, thank you for sending this video their way. See you in the next one. Thanks.